Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today I have another Transformers Titans Return review for you. This is Legends Class Kickback. Finally we have the third of the main Insecticons. Previously we did have a Shrapnel release and a Bombshell, so we finally have Kickback. Very cool artwork up top here. Very nice to see that. You can see the bubble packaging there. Robot mode, alt mode here on the back. It says, this Insecticon lures allies, then turns on them for his own gain. So, not a good dude. Not very nice. But in any case, there he is. We'll go ahead, we'll bust him out of the packaging, and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here's Kickback out of the packaging. First up, we can take a look at the card that he comes with. Very nice artwork. Same artwork from the packaging earlier. Flipping it over to take a look at his tech specs. Obviously, he doesn't combine with the Titan Master, so he only has the red bar without the blue edition. But you can see he is 9 in intelligence. So very cool there. Then he's got some firepower and speed. Very low on strength. But a very cool card. Nice durable cardboard. Nice to collect. So we'll go ahead and put that off to the side. And then bring in Kickback here. Robot mode's not bad. It's a little weird that the wings that used to be like right in his shoulder are kind of all the way on his back. I kind of wish that they were in this joint somehow. And I feel like they could have done that. I mean, you could have still had the bug legs here and just put this inside this joint, but I have kind of a problem where, and I'll see if I can get in close enough where you can see it. The way the arms go up and connect, there's this little tab, and that tabs in right there. And for some reason, mine will go up and you can tab it in, but then it kind of pops right back out. So I think that's just mine. I don't think they're all going to be like that. There's just something about, it's kind of like a swivel joint for how you push it on the back during the transformation. It's not a huge problem. It's just a bit of a bummer. Mine won't kind of stay in place. It will. This one's perfectly fine, but for some reason this one keeps popping out. Will it stay? Yeah, maybe I can get it to stay. But decent head sculpt. The antennas are real soft plastic, so mine's bent a little bit. But again, not terrible. Really love the Decepticon symbol there. Nicely painted. He has the large yellow opening on his chest, just like the original G1 toy did. Doesn't do a whole lot, just like the original G1 toy. I believe the reason the original G1 toy had it was because this was a reused Microman mold from Japan. The original G1 Transformers line of toys was kind of reused from, I think half were Microman and half were Diaclone, which were two lines in Japan at the time. So that's why a lot of the earlier figures had compartments for tiny little figures to go inside, because that was part of the Japanese toy line where they reused the molds from, and that part of it was kind of abandoned when it was brought over here. But in any case, enough of the history lesson. He's got a head that can turn from side to side. It can go a whole 360, and you have to turn it 180 as part of the transformation. He's got the ball joint here in the shoulder. He's got a ball joint here in the elbow, ball joint in the hip, ball joint in the knee. These little toes move, but it's really just for the transformation. You do have the wings. There's a ball joint here and a ball joint here. So if you wanted to kind of splay them out to the side, you certainly could. It's all personal preference. I like them on the back because it gives it the most G1 look to them. But you can certainly do anything if you want to bring them up front and use them as weapons or something. You know, your imagination's the limit. So there is a set of ball joints there to give a little bit more posability to that. But I mean, overall, the robot mode, not bad. Weird shoulder joints aside. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. Let's bring in his Insecticon brothers for a little group shot here. As you can see, they're all roughly the same size, which I appreciate. I think it's kind of funny how I'll put them in order they were released, and you can kind of see the evolution of the, this one's kind of the most basic. This was from I don't know if that line really had a name to it. It was just kind of like part of Generations, where each figure came with a small Target Master type minicon, and then this is from Combiner Wars, and this is from Titans Return. So it took us 3 separate lines over probably about 5 years. Well, maybe not quite 5 years, say 3 to 4, to finally get all 3 Insecticons in the same Legend size class. But they look good. I still think Bombshell's probably my favorite. I think they probably look the best. Or I should say he looks the best. Then I would say, I kind of like Shrapnel, I gotta be honest. Kickback might be my least favorite. I'm not 100% on that, but definitely Bombshell's probably my favorite. But I'll take these out. We'll get back to Kickback. So yeah, that's pretty... I mean, he has a little bit of kibble here on the back. Not terrible. Nothing's really in the way. So that's good. He does have a little plug here, so I guess if you wanted to use like a Tamashii stand or something, you could. Have him do some kind of flying pose or something like that. I'll try to get in so you can take a look at the head sculpt. Pretty good. I like it. Like I said, these are a little soft, so mine's a little bent, but not a huge problem. Overall, I would say I do like the robot mode. It's pretty good. Not the best of the 3, but certainly not bad. But let's go ahead and get into his transformation. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is spin the head 180 degrees, as I mentioned previously. And then this is kind of the main bug head here, as you can see on the back. And that kind of... You see here that on this purple piece here, you can actually rotate the head back. And then you can kind of bring the bug head up. And it just kind of stops there. I mean, it's up to you if you want to push it back farther. You can a little bit, but it's just supposed to kind of stop. I don't know. It's kind of weird. And I almost feel like it could have been done a little bit better. But it just kind of stops there, and then you can see that the yellow antennas kind of join the bug head. I don't know. I feel like there was probably a better way that could be done. It's not terrible. Something wrong with it. It's just, I don't know, not that great. Then you're going to bring these down like this and come around to the back and kind of just get the legs out of the way, because these kind of come down and rotate at a weird angle. And then you're going to want to bring these around, and you can see how they have these kind of tabs. And the tabs will kind of fit into a little groove here on the bottom. You can kind of see it. It's a little difficult. But you can see that there's kind of a little indentation here on the back of his butt. So these will kind of sit in here like that. But you kind of have to like move these ball joints and these ball joints at the right angles until it just kind of works. And it really just takes some fiddling. But once you can get them in, then you can also peg the hands together down here. So you can kind of use that as a guide to get the hands lined up and then peg it all together. And then they're going to sit on the back as kind of like the thorax of the bug. But again, it's really finicky and they don't really want to stay together all that great. Plus you're just kind of left with this weird elongated butt out the back. Plus you can see the hands very clearly. I don't know. Again, is it terrible? No. Could it have been done better? Probably. You're going to lift up these bug feet and then just bring this around like that. Kind of set it against. Rotate up the bug feet. Put the wings back. You can see you've pretty much got the whole front there. With the legs, you're just going to push the feet in. And that's going to pop out the bug legs. And then just kind of straighten them out like that. And do that with both. And then it's just up to you to kind of position it how you like. You can raise these up a little bit if you like. And then here is the grasshopper mode. It's not terrible. It's not perfect. I mean, you can kind of position it so that the legs kind of cover the hands / thorax section, and then I think it looks better. If you just straight up try to hide it, I think he looks like a more cohesive grasshopper. And then you can get these wings going in the right direction. And then it's not bad. It's, you know, it's good, but it's not perfect. I like the wings. Now, in the original, they were kind of a silver color. Now they're a translucent yellow, so I can't decide if I like it better or not. It's not bad, again. I'm used to the silver. I wouldn't have minded the silver, but I don't think I mind the translucent yellow. Overall, I think it's okay. I also wanted to show off all three in insect mode. Unfortunately, my shrapnel, the one pincer is getting loose, so it kind of sags a little bit. That's kind of a bummer. But overall, I think shrapnel is probably my favorite. And then actually, I think Kickback might be my second favorite in bug mode now that I have them all next to each other. Um, Bombshell, I love his robot mode, but his bug mode is, in my opinion, not the best. It's not bad, nothing wrong with it, but I think Shrapnel's probably my favorite, and then probably Kickback. Maybe if they had done the wings in this same kind of gray coloring, just so that way each of the three would have some of that gray color in the front, that would kind of catch the eye and make them a little bit more uniform. Because as it stands, like these two are kind of the same color purple. Not 100%, but they're the closest. And then he's kind of a darker purple. So you do really notice that they were done across three lines because all the colors are not uniform. I mean, this is definitely a darker gold where this is a brighter yellow. And then he's got just translucent yellow for the most part. So it would have been nice if they were uniform. I think if they would have just done this color light gray as the wings, I think that would have really brought the three together. One other little feature I wanted to show off real quick, you can open up that little panel I showed you earlier, and if you want, you can, it kind of sinks in, like you can just sit it, directions show you that you can just sit a Titan Master in there. Not fantastic. It's not like he fits all the way inside. He can just kind of sit there and ride Kickback. It's not bad. I think it's a decent little feature. Not 100% fantastic. It would have been cooler if he could fit all the way inside and you could close it, but I understand his chest would have had to been ridiculously big to do that, so it would have thrown off the look of the robot mode. So this is a nice compromise, and I think it works. So Kickback's not perfect, but he's definitely growing on me. Even just the time doing this review, when I first opened him, I was kind of a little bummed, but the more I handle him and the more I transform him back and forth, he's definitely growing on me. And when I put him side by side with the other Insecticons, I think he shines a little bit more brightly as well. Maybe it's just because it's nice to finally have all three. I'm not quite sure. I mean, my weird little shoulder QC issue aside, I think the robot mode is pretty solid. If I could just get that to stay, or I don't know, maybe I have to just shave down a piece of plastic or something. I don't think it's the peg itself. I think it has to do with the way this joint swivels and it's not allowing it to stay swiveled all the way up or something. I'm not 100%, but hopefully yours doesn't have that issue. And I mean, it's not, as far as issues go, you can get the arm pretty much all the way there and it still looks okay. I wish the wings were kind of made out of that silver or grayish plastic, so that would kind of make them a little bit more uniform with the other Insecticons. And I wish they were a little bit closer to this area, just because, give them a little bit more G1 aesthetic. But overall, I think it's a pretty fun little toy. I'm glad it's not like a deluxe or Voyager class or something like that. It's nice to get the three Insecticons in a size class that makes sense for kind of what they are about, what their motif is. So for that, I like it. I definitely like completing the collection. I mean, we did have to wait a long time to get him, and I think that made expectations a little high, and maybe he falls a little short of those expectations. But it's a $10 toy, and I think it's worth that price, and it's nice to complete the collection and have all three finally. So ultimately, I recommend it. Just maybe proceed with caution. Just, have reasonable expectations when you get this guy and you won't be let down. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like and share this video, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at Legends Class Kickback from Transformers Titans Return. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.